in speaking to a few of our partners around how do they price their co-managed programs, everybody's doing it differently. So I wasn't able to kind of get some definitive, cohesive answers, because every MSP offers co-managed in a little bit different way. They're pricing it out a little bit different way. And pricing for co-managed is handled differently than the traditional MSP pricing approach. But pricing, whether it's pricing for your traditional managed services or for a co-managed, it all still needs to take into account the same critical components. We need to determine all of our costs. We then need to determine our markup and what margin we're going to apply, to get our final go-to-market price. But there are, some key differences, when we look at, pricing co-managed versus pricing for traditional. And the co-managed IT services model, that is, the pricing there is more of a piece of the pie mentality, as opposed to the whole pie mentality, which is what is typical of the managed services model. Like in a fully managed program, we want to look after everything. We want to have the control. We want to be in charge. We're going to take over everything for that client. Whereas with co-managed, because we're working with an internal IT department, we're going after maybe just pieces of that pie that maybe the internal IT department can't handle right now. They don't have the right resources. They don't have the right skill sets. They don't have the time. And so they're offloading that little piece, whatever that happens to be, to you as the MSP. And so pricing for co-managed really kind of follows the same lines of an a la carte pricing methodology. And it tends to be priced on a per device basis. In talking to partners, they'll have a kind of a per desktop, per server type of pricing. Whereas traditional, we tend to price per user because we want to focus on supporting the user. So a little key differences there. In addition, co-managed partners are not bundling in labor. They're kind of just charging and pricing it out for the exact service that they're delivering. So any additional support beyond what's outlined in the statement of work, that's typically billed in a time material manner. Whereas in managed services, there's differences in how you run your managed services business. You could, if you deliver fully managed programs, you build the labor in. But maybe you're just doing proactive programs where you're monitoring, you're managing, but the reactive labor component is going to be billed separately or be pulled off the block. It really kind of depends how you've designed your programs and the philosophy behind your programs. And so when you look at how to price an offering like co-managed patch, co-managed backup, co-managed EDR, it's not really all that different from how you would price it out, if you were doing these in an a la carte model or methodology in the managed services model. You just need to define exactly what it is that you're going to be responsible for each of those offerings, and then ensuring that you're properly accounting for all the right labor costs so that you're accounting for your time. And then you're determining, what kind of markup and what kind of margin you're going to apply once you've kind of determined your costs. From a high level standpoint, a co-managed program's monthly price, we're tallying up all of our costs, we're applying a specific margin percentage to it to get our final price.